So yeah, grew up in Maryland. Was there all the way up until college. I grew up playing for Bethesda Academy. My family's from Cameroon. I'm Cameroonian, but I was born here. So my family is a big soccer family, as well as my uncle kind of showed me the sport. That's actually how I became a Chelsea fan at 5 years old. Just remember watching the AFCON and stuff like that, and watching Didier Drogba. And at the time, I was playing striker. So him scoring headers is something I love doing.
Played in, and it's for Makel Rasheed, adding to the.
So yeah, that kind of introduced me into the sport. I tried other sports, but didn't really work out, and I just fell in love with soccer. It's funny enough, I wasn't going to go to UND at first. My dream school was University of Cincinnati, and then their program got cut because of COVID and money and issues and stuff like that. I flew in pretty much 2 days after the coach called me and committed because I had nothing else. And again, I think when you're young, you think, hey, this is a D2 school, all my friends are going D1. You're not really maturing and realizing that it's your own story, it's your own journey. Going into my freshman year, I was 164 pounds at 6'3". I was doing curls and stuff with the girls' bar and spending extra time with them. And I had to get surgery my freshman year on my right knee. And kind of after that, my second year, I started to gain more confidence, and my coaches started to push me a little bit more. And then once I kind of filled into my body and kind of matured, I think that's when kind of my journey took off. Honestly, it's a full circle moment. I remember even on the field that we're on now, like playing against Indy 11. We used to play them in preseason when Tyler Pash and those guys were here. But like I said earlier, just kind of looking back at my own story and seeing that my development was different, and to see that I've landed back in a spot that, when I used to play against these guys, I was just imagining, myself in the Indy 11 jersey. And now that I'm here, it's kind of like I said, a full circle moment. Thanks to John Higgins, Sean Mahoney, and those guys at UND, they actually transferred to Xavier. So then they told me to transfer with them, and then I've been, in contact with them ever since. My first year at Xavier, we had a really good year. We kind of turned the program around, thanks to my teammates, but also the coaching staff.
What's memorable moments that stick out to you think back to college?
I would say winning the Big East. Obviously, Georgetown is the name that most people think when it comes to soccer, as the big dogs, and we played them in the final, and we were a very defense-sound-minded team. And again, injury again. I had a groin injury, and I didn't start the final, but then I came on, and then it was too much. Then I came off, took the first pen, and scored, and then we won in pens. And I just, being the captain of the team and taking on that leadership role, which I never thought I would do, definitely was a memorable moment for me, for sure. I think we had the most shutouts in the Big East, if I'm not mistaken. I think we were maybe top 10 to top 15 in the nation at the time for shutouts and defensive records. And it was crazy because even my mother, she tells me this now, she didn't believe that I could, play pro or be drafted. So I just remember seeing my name on there was a surreal moment. I didn't really know how to react. I think I looked at it, went to 7-Eleven, got a snack, and went to sleep, funny enough. So when I got drafted, I actually went back to school for my final year, which was my 5th year. And then that's when I got my injury, and it kept me out for a year and a half.
Yeah, ultimately I wanted to graduate, come back. Xavier is a good school, and I trust the coaches here. So yeah, they were okay with me coming back and finishing my 5th year out and getting my degree. So school is definitely the number one priority for me.
So I signed pretty late in April, I think, of 23. Yeah, 23 with Huntsville. I did rehab the whole year there. I actually ended up getting surgery twice. So I got it in February, then once in July, and then I didn't play the whole year. I spent the whole year on the sidelines doing rehab, and then I played the last game 15 minutes, and then they didn't pick up my option. went back home, and then, slept on a mattress in my mom's place for a couple months doing rehab. And then I got a call from Xavier coaching staff, and they told me to come in and coach. And I did. I coached in the spring season for them while getting treatment and training with the guys when my body allowed me to. I played USL 2 for a couple games with Scott Wells, who's a very nice guy. And then I went on trial with Tormenta in May of 24. I had a really good season there. I think I had 4 goals, 1 assist, and played 23 games. So that was my most healthy season.
And it finds its way in. South Georgia steaming out of the gates and finding the edge in the first 10 minutes. Makel Rasheed, what's the home side ahead?
Yeah, and then Indy had interest, and then now I'm here. So the biggest thing for me is my faith. That's through the injuries, is especially the one with my groins when I was out for a year and a half. That was the longest I've been out with injury, and that was the moment that I really locked in and found God. And it was through him that I really found my identity, because my whole life, in front of cameras or anyone asks me who is Makel, like, what's your favorite thing to do, it's always soccer first. And I think through that time that I was out, my relationship with God definitely deepened. And I realized that my identity was in him, and that there was bigger things than just soccer in my life. And I think through that time, yes, it was time for me to heal my body, but also my mind, and to realize that I'm more than just, a soccer player. And I think a lot of kids, athletes, even people that are older than me, should realize that they're more than just a soccer player or an athlete. They're created for bigger things.